Welcome to Grammar Bites. In this video, we're going to review the tenses we have studied so far and look at why we use them. We'll begin our review by looking at the tenses that talk about the present. There's the present simple tense for things that are always true, habits and routines. There's the present continuous for activities in progress at the time of speaking or for temporary situations. And we use the present perfect to talk about activities that started in the past and are still true now. Let's look at some examples of the present simple tense. Remember, we use this tense for things that are always true, for habits, and for routines. Ice melts in warm weather. Sally is a receptionist. Does she play basketball every week? He doesn't work in an office. You don't like apples. Notice that for this tense we use verb 1, the infinitive. We use do does with questions and don't doesn't with the negative. Remember also in positive sentences we add s for he, she and it. Here are some examples of the present continuous tense. We use this for activities in progress at the time of speaking or for temporary situations. He's riding his bicycle at the moment. He isn't driving a car. The children are studying now. They aren't playing games. Is the barista making coffee for the customer? Remember, for this tense we use am, is, are and verb ing. Here are some examples of present perfect, where the activity or state started in the past and is still true now. We've lived here all our lives. We haven't lived anywhere else. We've been married for 55 years. He has worked in the city for 8 years. They've played volleyball all day. How long has he taught English? Remember with this tense to use have, has and verb 3, the past participle of the verb. Now let's look at the tenses we can use to talk about the past. There's the past simple tense for activities and states that are finished. There's the past continuous tense for activities in progress over a time in the past. And we can use these two tenses together to show when one activity interrupts another. The present perfect can also be used to talk about a past event, when we don't know or it isn't important when it happened, such as a life experience. Here is the past tense. Remember, we use it for activities or states that are finished. We first met in 1955. Did you do your homework? She fell asleep 2 hours ago. When did she start her diet? We didn't go to school this morning. Classes started at 2 p.m. Here we use verb 2 for positive sentences. Don't forget to use verb 1 with did in questions and didn't in negative sentences. Now here's some examples of the past continuous for actions in progress at a time in the past. They were having coffee at 1 p.m. They weren't working. Were they watching the match yesterday afternoon? She was travelling all summer. You were shopping with your friend in town this morning. Remember here, we use verb ing with was, were. We use the past simple and past continuous together to show where a background action was interrupted by another. Here are some examples. We were waiting for our plane when the fire started. The car broke down while she was driving to her sister's house. He was waiting for the bus when he first saw her. Did it rain while you were walking home from work? Were you walking home when it rained? And here are some examples of the present perfect to talk about an action in the past. But here we don't know or it isn't important when it happened. We often use this to talk about life experiences. Have you ever swum with dolphins? She's been to many different countries. They've never ridden a horse. I've never seen a ghost. We have bungee jumped. Again, as this is the present perfect tense, we use have has plus verb 3. Now let's look at some ways we can talk about the future. We can use will, won't, often with I think to talk about future predictions. We can use be going to for future plans and intentions. And the present continuous for future arrangements. Here are some examples of future predictions. I think trains will be faster in the future. He thinks virtual reality won't be very popular. The city traffic won't get better. Who do you think will win? Do you think it will rain in London? It probably will. Here are examples using going to. This talks about our plans, things we thought about doing. This uses am is are and going to. I'm going to buy a new phone this weekend. Are you going to visit your grandparents this summer? He's going to do nothing all day. She's not going to work tomorrow. Now the present continuous for future arrangements. With be going to, that was for our plans or our intentions, but we use the present continuous when we have a fixed arrangement or an agreement to do something. Often this is agreed or arranged with someone else. Let's look at some examples. They're eating at the new restaurant tonight. She's flying back to Russia tomorrow. We bought our house, but we're not moving in this week. I'm starting my new job on Monday. As you see, we make this the same way as when we make sentences about things that are happening now. We use am is are plus verb ing. This video has reviewed the uses of the tenses that we have studied so far. For more information about each tense, please watch the video on that subject. In later videos, you will find more uses and more tenses. Now it's your turn to practice and review the tenses and uses we studied in this video. Check the link below. That's all for this Grammar Bites episode. See you soon.